All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a Tuesday evening here, and I really appreciate you all joining for the UC Admission Secrets. I am Coach Art, and I'm going to be presenting to you a pretty important topic, of course. I know because I've had three boys in college, and I'm telling you, I hate paying for education. I think it's crazy that we have to pay for education here, but again, it's a reality, right? So I'm going to be talking about scholarships tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then let me know once you guys have seen it, if you guys can see my screen so that I can get to confirm. If you could do that with the awesome, I love it. Okay, some people give me thumbs up. Um, if you've been with me at other webinars, I always love reactions. So throughout this time that that I'm presenting, if you see that you hear something that you really love, please give me a heart, okay? Because I love to know when information is useful so that I can use that for future purposes. So scholarships, it's a numbers game, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit. But what we're going to do in this session, okay, is I'm going to tell you how to search for scholarships, where and what to search for, some key strategy tips, and I'm actually going to go through some specific UC scholarships as well, because again, this is the UC Admission Secrets session. So if it is your first time, welcome to UC Admission Secrets. I am Coach Art, and I would love to introduce you to who I am. First of all, I am one of the college admissions coaches here at UC Admission Secrets and also College Admission Secrets. They also call me the parent liaison just because my proudest moment is my three boys. I have three boys. My oldest graduated last year from UC Berkeley with a mechanical engineering degree. My middle son is now attending University of Illinois in Chicago. He's pursuing his pre-med bio degree. And my youngest son is attending Biola University, and he is playing college soccer and also pursuing a physical therapy degree. So for all you parents out there, I've been there, done that 3 times, very familiar, and I have placed so many students to schools all across the country. So you can see here my bio here, 30 years as a technology leader, but really proud to be 20 years of a sports and a life coach for students and young professionals. And specifically, I am now in my 8th year doing college admission secrets. They do also call me the student whisperer, I think just because I'm a dad, and I'm sure the dads out there will probably testifies that, it's hard to get the parent out of you, especially when you're trying to help other students that are kind of the same age as your kids as well. Now, my cohort in crime, Coach Tony, is not here tonight. He's actually getting some well-deserved rest. We've been going hard at our college application intensives, and so, but a little bit about him. Again, he's the founder of College Admission Secrets and UC Admission Secrets. Graduated from UC Berkeley, was a reader at UC Berkeley. It was a UCLA outreach director, even founded his own high school. Okay, so he is an amazing individual. Does a lot for the community, but also does a lot for students. So I feel so blessed being part of this organization and also helping all the students. So with that said, our goal with respect to college admission secrets and everything is to really reveal all the secrets. UC admission secrets, Ivy Leagues. So if you're interested in Ivy Leagues as well, financial aid, test prep, as well as math secrets as well. We have so many success stories across the University of California system, so many students that we have placed at the various institutions, Cal, UCLA, UCI, you see all of them here, which are incredible institutions and frankly are very difficult these days to get into. But we're just not UC. Okay, we also have placed so many students across the country. You can see here Caltech, Loyola Marymount, Boston University, Rice. We have even Notre Dame, Pepperdine, Chapman, University of Virginia. So many different and incredible opportunities that we have helped our students be placed into so many different schools across the country. And we're very proud of it just because our system really works and works very well. So our vision for this group is really to teach all of you what's working for our students, to share as many free resources and freebies and goodies as possible. And of course, our goal is to make sure that your child achieves success. And so we invite you to work with us, myself, Coach Tony, and our team to help you coach your child to UC admission success, and not just UC, but also other colleges across the country. So are you guys ready to take some notes? You guys ready to take some notes? If you are, please give me a heart. Give me a heart so I can see the hearts flowing through. If you can get, okay, awesome, great. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions in the chat below. I'm going to try to get through this, not super quickly, but just enough so that we have time at the end to answer any questions. Looks like oh my gosh, we are already at almost, gosh, 280, which is amazing and incredible. I can't believe this. Again, I'm just so grateful for you guys joining me. I know that you have so many other things that you could do in your evening and spend time with your family, and you choose to spend it with me. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful. So as part of the college admissions journey, okay, you all know that we've been talking about this in all of our webinars. There's the choosing of the college and a major, there's academics, there's activities and application. This is the key areas that we focus on, okay, when we're trying to help your students get to this dream colleges that they're looking for. But there is a very important chapter that not a lot of people look at, and that is scholarships, okay? Now, as you know, a scholarship is money that serves as a gift, okay? It is not a loan, and it does not need to be repaid as long as the requirements are met. And I want to make sure that we differentiate between all of the financial aid jargon that's out there. There are 4 types of financial aid. First of all, scholarships, which we'll talk about tonight and is signified by this yellow star here, is free money that may be awarded by organizations and what we call private scholarships, okay? It could be university institutional money, or it could be individuals, okay? Just purely individuals that are providing money to your kids, okay? This is also known as a gift aid. Now, there are grants, but these grants are offered by the federal government, okay? And so this is money that's awarded by possibly also or organizations, private money, the university, or the federal government, okay? And these are grants that are also free as well, okay? And you can look for those as well. Now, there's also work study. Now, this is where the students earn, okay, the money that's going to put towards their college costs, where they help earn money to help for those costs of attendance. So they have flexible work hours, and then wages are subsidized by the federal government, okay? And then lastly, which I just really don't like, but again, it's sometimes it's a necessity, is loans, okay? And loans, of course, we all know money that's borrowed, that accumulates interest and must be paid back. And these could be subsidized federal loans, unsubsidized federal loans, dream loans, private loans, or so forth, okay? Now, scholarship offerings. I just want to make sure that we go through this because there's a lot of things here. First of all, there's institutional aid, and you probably heard this word FAFSA. So that really is, again, an application to apply for federal aid, okay? But it's necessary because what happens here is that you have to apply in FAFSA so that alerts the colleges to create financial aid accounts for your students, okay? Now, there are different types of federal aid. You got federal government, you have the Pell Grant. Those are usually, again, offered for those families that have less than 25K in salary. You have the Cal Grant, where there's different types of Cal Grants, A, B, and C. You also have merit-based scholarships, okay, on grants and offerings, and that's specific to the school, okay? And so what happens is that you have to apply through FAFSA, and then what happens is the schools will determine if you, based on merit or need, qualify, and then they provide it to you. But what we do, what I'm talking about tonight, is outside scholarships, meaning private scholarships. So those scholarships, there's two types, one-time or renewable. And I'll go through what's important, the types that you want to go for. They're both very important in the sense of providing types of of substantial financial aid. But again, it depends on how it impacts FAFSA. And the reason why is because you, for one time or any scholarships that you take from a private scholarship, that does influence the amount of money that the government is going to provide you. So for example, if the government says that you have need and they provide you with $15,000 worth of need of scholarship money or financial aid, if you also get a private scholarship, let's say $5,000 worth of scholarships, that could impact the amount and that could reduce it by that amount. So if it's $15,000, you get a $5,000 scholarship, then your need could go down to $10,000. Okay. So that's the reason why I always encourage to get renewable scholarships. And the reason why you want to get renewable scholarships, those are scholarships that once you've applied and you get accepted, then all you need to do is to reapply. Just put your name in and then you automatically get. There's no evaluation process. There's, you just have to submit your name. They might ask you to do another let's say an essay or so, but that's a formality because they're going to renew you as long as you have met the criteria of the scholarship itself. So there are several types of private scholarships that are out there, okay? First of all, you can see here, and I'll go through this really quickly, there are full ride scholarships. For example, my middle son, he got a full ride scholarship, ROTC Naval Scholarship. Of course, that was a very rigorous process, but he was able to achieve that. There are, of course, merit-based scholarships. This is, again, based on how well the student did in high school. There's need-based scholarships, which are scholarships based on the, how much your family makes. And if it's under a certain threshold of the amount that you make, then they provide that because it's need-based. There are athletic scholarships, like my son who is playing soccer at school. He would be receiving an athletic scholarship. There are a number of minority scholarships for those that are in the minority population. And so there are a lot of minority groups that offer that. There are major specific scholarships, if there's a business scholarship or if there is engineering scholarship. There are even scholarships that are provided internationally, okay, especially if you have students that are international students for your country, they may be offering those kind of scholarships. For those who are involved in the creative and performing arts, there's also a number of scholarships for creative performing arts. And then very important is community or community service scholarships. I'm always a proponent of trying to go for as many local scholarships within your community, because those are the ones that normally you can gain, because always they want to support those that are within their local community. So I'm going to do a little guessing game, or give you a little test here. How young can you start looking for scholarships? If you can put it in the chat right now, how young do you think you can put it? So if you can put in the chat right now, how young can a person be, a student, what grade, let's say grade, what grade do you think, okay, people say middle school, 5 years old, 4, elementary, high school, 9th grade, okay, 7th grade. Wow, all great, all very, very good, very, very good answers. Okay, here's the answer. 4th grade. Okay, fourth grade. So everybody that was above that, you guys were correct. Yes, it is absolutely true. You can be as young as fourth grade to look for college scholarships. And the reason why is because these scholarships will hold that money for you, or what they'll do is they'll normally provide you with a scholarship, and you want to hold that until the student goes and is eligible to take advantage of that in college. I would highly suggest that if you gain a check or so, that you put it into something in which it's not going to be used for something else, of course. But again, yes, as low as fourth grade, we've seen students, and you'll see probably a lot of these where they have to either do some type of essay or show some type of product or project in order to gain those types. Okay, so start early. Begin scholarship search well in advance. Okay, so if you are right now, I see a lot of students that are a lot of people online right now that said that they are searching or they're freshmen, right? You can start doing a search for freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. There are a lot of scholarships that actually specifically say you want that about being a high school student for college. And again, there's all different types, right? You can start as early as fourth grade, and they will hold the scholarships. And the best time to search for scholarships are fall to spring, so typically October to March. The reason why is because a lot of scholarship organizations, they want to be able to, one, first of all, in the thick of things when you're filling out your applications, they want to be able to present these scholarships during the time that the students are applying, and especially once they receive their acceptances, they're able to say, wow, look at this, Johnny received this amount of scholarships and he's going to Stanford, let's say. And so they really want to be able to promote that. Okay. So if you are, another thing that you can do is work with our financial aid EDGE program. Okay. Coach David is on a guru, an expert with financial aid, and he runs our financial aid secrets program. Okay. Our EDGE program. And he can definitely find incredible opportunities for specifically financial aid through the federal government or FAFSA. Okay. But again, just be aware that when you do that, it can't, if you're looking to do, if you get financial aid from the government, that it could be impacted by getting private scholarships. So I'm going to give you the secret sauce of how to search for scholarships. And it's really easy, but a lot of people don't do it. So first of all, here is how you do this. Students and parents, what you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to find keywords that are related to any achievements that the students have had, involvement, service, leadership, talents, backgrounds, ethnicity, anything that is a characteristic of the student. Okay. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take, now, what you're going to do with that is I normally recommend is get a spreadsheet, okay? Put all of those down. You should have at least 50. And there's always all different types of keywords. And the keywords can also not just be, and I'll give you an example there, is just one keyword, any variation of that word as well. And we'll talk about that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that keyword and you're going to type in the keyword along with grant, scholarship, or award in front of it. Okay. And then you'll press enter. So, for example, if we take surfing, okay, and I've done this many times with students who love surfing. Again, I'm on the West Coast. So we do surfing. So what you want to do is you want to do surfing scholarship, surfing grant, surfing award. Okay. Use the variations of those keywords. So use surfing, but you can do water sports, body surfing, surfboards, anything that applies or is related to that that initial keyword, and then use grant, scholarship, or award. Now, another thing that you can do to make the search even better is to add your location of your local area. So for example, if I was in Los Angeles, then what happens here is you talk about doing surfing scholarship Los Angeles, water sports scholarship Los Angeles, body surfing scholarship Los Angeles. Now you can probably see as you do that, you're going to start getting a bunch of searches, okay? There are also a lot of search engines, okay? But I would also be careful about some of these search engines because, for example, there are some search engines that are so big and they, that a lot of students, a lot of parents are looking through them and they're not very good in a sense of the information. But here are some that I found that are really good. Bold.org, okay, bold.org. Scholarship Owl, okay, Go Mary, and then as well as even the College Board has a bigfuture.collegeboard.org, okay. So the one thing here is that it's really, really important, okay. It's really, really important that you don't just search online, but you also, another thing is ask, okay. So if there are organizations out there locally in the community or in your at your work or in certain organizations that you know of, ask and find out if they actually have scholarships that are available because a lot of times they either forget or that they don't realize or they don't advertise and then you can there's high likelihood that you may be able to get in there and get that scholarship, okay. Now the one thing here also is when you are trying to put together these searches, put it in, again, a spreadsheet, and that will be your database, okay? So here is the process. This is what want to follow the process. First of all, thoroughly, when you see one of the entries that you get from the search, thoroughly read through the requirements and make sure you follow all the steps. I will tell you, is a lot of people, what they do is they're going to go and they're going to see a particular entry and they say, oh, that doesn't apply. But even if it remotely applies, even so small or remotely, file for it, okay? Apply for it. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes if they don't necessarily apply directly, if they don't have any other candidates, they might actually give that scholarship to your student because if they don't and they don't use it, they'll lose it. Okay, so that happens. I've seen it happen a number of times. Or they might not, they might know another organization, or they may have an affiliate organization or a sister organization where the requirements may fit better. And so they may actually recommend your student for that. Okay, so read thoroughly through the requirements, follow the steps. As I mentioned, create in your spreadsheet, create a scholarship application calendar, a database where you write down all of the deadlines. Okay, so you write the due dates, you write down the specifics, you write down get a copy of the link of it online or an address or so, maybe the contact information, the name or so. Okay. Another thing is that as you're doing this, you may have to provide supporting materials, okay? You may have to provide recommendations. You may have to provide an activity resume. So be prepared and make sure that you have these readily available. Recommendations from anyone, teachers, coaches, principals, counselors, anyone that has had interaction with your student, okay? Of course, prepare a strong application. And this is where something that we can help you with if you join our program as well, because we're experts at filling out those applications as well as with essays. Seek review and feedback. Again, if it's not from us, then seek review or feedback from others. Make sure that other people read it and make sure it makes sense, okay? I can't stress this enough, but submit the application on time. There were so many students that I've seen where they just forget or they missed the deadline and they were perfect and we knew that they were going to actually gain the scholarship as long as they put it in and they didn't do it on time. And it's a shame because this is free money that can really help them out in the future, okay? Another thing is that I always like to follow up. This is really, really important. If there's an email address or so, when you submit, I always like to send an email saying, hey, and alert them I've submitted my application. Please let me know if there's any further information that you need, and then I will follow up in another week or so, just to make sure that they got the email. Key thing here is maintain your scholarship database. So that's database. It doesn't just stop here, because you may find scholarships that the date is already passed. Okay. Or maybe that it only applies to, let's say, juniors and you're a freshman right now. Keep that database and make sure that you highlight in a way so you know that as you're going along and checking month by month, that these may come up. Because again, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. It's a numbers game. That's the reason why I have that title in the beginning. It's a numbers game. It is a consistent habit that you need to make in looking for scholarships and applying for scholarships. If you spend a goal of 15 minutes per day spending, searching for, okay, and then find at least one scholarship per week, and you keep on applying to them, you will find that it snowballs. You start finding more, and you start getting into the groove. And a lot of times too, because you are entering your name in there as well, other places might ping you, or you might find some more references because you have applied for particular scholarships. Okay, again, be persistent. It is absolutely a numbers game. One thing is cast a wide net. As I mentioned, apply for as many scholarships as possible. This is a numbers game. What I mentioned before, interpret loosely the requirements. I have done it where, again, it's iota, or maybe if it doesn't even meet, but some basic ones of, oh, he's a junior in high school or something like that. But there's other things. Still, there's no harm in applying, especially if it's easy, if you have the material readily available, because as I mentioned, they might either take you, or they might go ahead and refer you to others. Okay. There is a key thing here called scholarship stacking. And what I mean by that is that you want to look for smaller renewable scholarships, okay, because this offers flexibility and are easy to attain. And what I mean by that is, don't go for the 10,000, 15,000, 25, 50,000 full rides, okay? The reason why everyone else is doing that, and they normally, the percentage and probability of students getting that, unless they have such an incredible resume and credentials, it's very difficult to get those. But if you go for the $250, the $500, the $1,000, the $1,500, the 2,000, 2,500, and what you do is you want to stack them, meaning is that you just want to collect all of those as your student gains and gets accepted or gets approved for it. Then what happens is you start gaining a mass. And for example, let's say that you need $25,000 a year. Well, that's the mark. It's not 100,000 because it's 4 years. It's only 25,000. And what you do is you look for ones that are renewable, meaning those that you just have to enter your name in the next year, and then they will give it to you. Because then if you find $25,000 worth of renewable scholarships, then that's it. You're done, because every year you renew them, and then what happens is that you're covered. But I wouldn't even stop there, because if you get $25,000 worth of scholarships, keep on going, because you never know what happens if those scholarships, if they happen to either go under, or if it happens that something is incredible, or you get additional expenses. You want to keep on going, trying to find those scholarships. As I mentioned, keep track of every scholarship that you find and apply on time, and make it a habit. Continue searching, not just through high school, but also through college. Okay. So if it's too good to be true, okay, I say this, if it's too good to be true, then it is. Okay. First of all, avoid any scholarships where they're asking you for an application fee or personal information request, meaning they just say, hey, what we want your name and email address. And that's it. That is a big red flag because what they're trying to do is trying to get you on a list so that they can sell it and then pay and then have people ping you. Okay. Legitimate scholarships should not require payment or guarantees. And a legitimate scholarship usually has some type of request for information, either essays, videos, examples of work. Okay. No work means no scholarship. Okay. So really, if it's too good to be true, it normally is. Now, so here is a little bit of scholarship stacking versus displacement. So what I mean by that is, remember how I mentioned, if you find private scholarships, that can impact the federal aid that you get. Okay. So again, scholarship stacking, which is the combining of scholarships of multiple and varied sources, but scholarship displacement, okay, what you want to do is you want to try to minimize this because there are other institutional financial aid. You want to minimize this and as more outside aid is added. So what I mean by that is, again, if you have federal aid, it can impact and reduce the amount, but then that just means that you have to increase the amount of scholarships you're looking for. And again, of course, preference more scholarship that are renewable. Okay. So here are some key strategies. Okay. First of all, start early. Okay. Remember that, start early. There are a higher odds of being awarded smaller value scholarships. So look for smaller value scholarships. Look for local and more niche types of scholarships because there are a smaller population of candidates. So more scholarships that are local in organizations, okay? Your local church or maybe an organization that you belong to. Maybe at your work, they may have ones for the students, the benefactors from the people who work there. Okay, look for those first because again, they're smaller population of candidates. Search for renewable scholarships, as I mentioned. Don't be intimidated by the requirements. As I mentioned, just look at it as put a blind eye and say, okay, if it even remotely applies, apply for it. Be proactive and persistent. And this is so true. There are estimates ranging from hundreds of millions to even billions of dollars in unclaimed scholarship funds every year. And the reason why is because people just don't know about them. You have to search for them. And that's the key thing here. And unfortunately, this is the reality. It's, again, a numbers game and it's digging. It's just constantly digging and researching and finding out. Okay. As I mentioned, be aware of too good to be true scholarships. And again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Make your search a habit. So really quickly, message from our sponsors. We do host a college application intensive, but I want to make sure that you understand here that our college application intensives are almost completed. They are fully booked. But for those that are not seniors this year and are interested, please keep this in mind that we have a college application intensive. What it is, it's a 2-day intensive workshop event where we help our students finish their college applications. It's in a small group setting, and we fly out our coaching team. It's one-on-one coaching of editing and revising of their essays and prompts. We cover the UC applications, CSU's common applications, and a maximum of 5 supplements from other schools. There is pre-event homework that we require the students to do, and we start our office hours in April of the year, which again would be next year. Okay, here's an example of myself and our amazing staff here, Coach David, Coach Tony, and here is our locations for this year. But we will be doing these for next year as well, and we are always growing. So you'll probably see much more actual locations next year. Okay. So if you are interested, please write this number down, 415-938-8721. Type in weekend. But again, this is, as I mentioned, this year is all sold out. Unfortunately, we do not have any more room, but type this number in for next year. or have us put you on our list so that we can contact you next year. Again, we start as early as April of next year, so that could be coming up. But 415-938-8721, type in weekend, okay? So we're back here. So a couple things here that I want to go through is scholarships, UC scholarships. And as you can see here, because this is the UC Admission Secrets time, hour, there are a lot of different scholarships that the UCs offer, okay? First of all, there is the Regents Scholarship. So the Regents Scholarship, this is a renewable merit-based scholarship. And at this point, the Regents Scholarship is amazing because they typically provide full ride scholarships, okay? Regent Scholarship is very difficult to get, and the reason why is because it's based on merit. So the students who are the top 2% that is rated by the readers of the applications to the UCs, they recommend individuals that are candidates for this, okay? There's also the Middle Class Scholarship. This program provides scholarships that can cover up to 40% of tuition fees for California residents, okay, who meet this certain criteria. There's also a very popular one, which is the Chancellor Scholarship. This scholarship program supports students annually with up to $5,000, depending on their financial need. So if we go by each one, there is the UC Berkeley Scholarship. So the UC Berkeley Scholarships, they have the Berkeley Undergraduate Scholarship. As I mentioned, the Regents and Chancellor Scholarships. MasterCard also does a MasterCard Foundation scholarship. This program targets graduate students, actually, and this is for graduate students that come from disadvantaged backgrounds. There's also the OURS, the OURS National Scholarship, the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarships. And these have different types of scholarships, the Rhodes, Marshall, Schwartzman scholarships for students that are attending UC Berkeley. The UCLA has very similar scholarships, but some that are different here are the Chancellor's Blue and Gold Scholarship. If your student is looking into nursing and they make it into UCLA School of Nursing, they have the Susan Ward and Paul Ward Fellowship, as well as the Gorman Family Centennial Scholarship. And if they are going in for fashion, UCLA offers the Fashion Scholarship Fund case study up to $7,500 and an award gala in New York City. UC Riverside have basically the same. There's also, for those who are joining us that are non-residents, there's a non-resident achievement scholarship for $4,500. There's also the Osher Crankstart re-entry scholarships. Those are for those students that are non-traditional, that maybe are not right out from high school, but those that are possibly, have had some gap years. There's also the Riverside Alumni Association for re-entry students, those who were interrupted when they were attending before and had to go away, but then are coming back. We also have the UCI Scholarship. The UCI scholarships, they have the Director Scholarship. This is really targeted to domestic out-of-state students, okay, out-of-state students. You have the UCI grants and various scholarships, middle-class scholarships, which take care of more 40% of the tuition, as well as the SOP program, okay? This is for high-achieving undergraduates, and these usually they offer prestigious national and international scholarships across the way. UC Merced, which is a rising UC school, they offer, again, the Regents middle class, and they also have institutional scholarships that are donated by their alumni, universities, and corporations. UC Santa Cruz has the Campus Merit Scholarship, of course, Regents. They also have undergraduate dean awards. You can see they can range from $12,000 to even $54,000 for freshmen, distributed over 4 years, and also for transfer students. They have the Donald A. Krause Scholarship up to $15,000, and of course, Phi Beta Kappa public service scholarships for those who are in the liberal arts and are interested in public service careers. This includes $5,000 and a trip to Washington, D.C. UC Davis is very similar. They have a lot of college-specific scholarships in agriculture, biological sciences, engineering, and College of Letters, and also merit scholarships up to $6 million in merit scholarships, individual awards ranging from $100,000 to $16,000. UCSD has a blue and gold opportunity plan. For families that make less than $80,000, they also have scholarships for international students that are pursuing their master's and PhD degrees. And then Santa Barbara, they have a very unique scholarship called from Scholarship Universe. They actually have their own database, okay, of scholarships. Once the students get into the school, they have a Scholarships Universe database that matches the students with scholarships. They have specific department scholarships like the Larry Adams Scholarship in Public Policy, the Kevin Laverty in Comparative Politics. And they also have scholarships upon commencement or graduation. So outstanding seniors, the Francis Cole Voluntary Award, and for exceptional academic achievements. So let me ask you this. Would it help you guys if you were able to receive a workbook that has all of this information and allows you to organize your scholarship shirts? If you do, please give me the hearts. You guys, would you? Okay. All right. It looks like that there's a bunch of people who want that. Well, guess what? That is my freebie for you guys tonight. With all this information, I have put together a workbook that allows you to go ahead and organize all your information, all of the scholarships and information. And so what I need you to do with that is, remember, it's a numbers game. I want you to go to 415-938-8721. 415-938-8721, and I want you to type in scholarship, okay? If you type in scholarship, then my team will go ahead and send you for free the scholarship workbook, okay? But you have to text us at 415-938-8721. Also, if you found this advantageous for you and you are interested in a free, okay, and I mind that, free 15-minute assessment from one of us, could be me as well, from one of our advisors to give you just free advice on your college admissions journey for your student, please book a free 15-minute assessment by typing in at 415-938-8721 the word book, B-O-O-K. And if you are interested, as I mentioned, about our intensive, our college application intensive for next year, type in weekend. So there are really three things. If you want all three things, type in scholarship, book, and weekend at 415-938-8721. Again, that's 415-938-8721. So with that said, let's, I did reserve some time here. So let's go ahead and look at some question and answers, okay? Q&A. What about university-specific scholarships? How do we find out through the, okay, so as I mentioned there, the question is what about university-specific scholarships? Absolutely. What I will always recommend for you to do, and this is really important for all of you parents out there, but also students, whenever you're searching for colleges, make an appointment with the financial aid office, okay? Don't wait on that, especially if you're going to go do tours at the colleges. What you want to do is you want to make ahead of time a specific appointment with financial aid. Those get booked, especially during the popular times when students are going out and visiting colleges. Make an appointment. They will provide you with so much information, especially about scholarships and university-specific scholarships. Now, of course, on the websites, they usually offer a lot there. But the one thing that I would definitely guarantee or is advice is to go to the financial aid office, make an appointment, and on top of that, talk to the separate colleges, let's say the dean of colleges or so, and ask them as well about scholarships, okay? Do you need to apply for Regents Scholarship, or do the universities decide who they want to give it to? Nope, the universities decide. You don't apply for Regents Scholarship. Regents Scholarship is based on what the readers decide if that person is within the top 2%, okay, 2%. So again, it's not something that you would apply to. Let's see some of the comments here. Huge shout out to the application intensive at UC Irvine. Came out with 90% application dialed in, worth it. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate one of our families here. Big shout out at the UC Irvine one that we did. They came out with 90% application dialed in. So again, if you're interested, 415-938-8721. Type in weekend and we will get you out information. Interested if next year. How many students in each UC admitted class would receive the scholarships you just mentioned here? Okay. Again, it all depends. That's a good question. Frankly, I don't know the answer to that, how many receive the scholarships, but I do know that because UCs don't have early admission, or early acceptance, early admission, but what they do is, most likely if the students get an early notification, they typically are given also some merit-based scholarships. And what I've seen as well is that if particularly when you put in your major, there are also additional questions that they may ask of you because they're looking to see about scholarships as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. I'm just scanning through here. Okay. Make sure again is that you don't want to type in the 4159. You want to type that in. Send us a text. Sorry, send a text to 415-938-8721. Again, send us a text 415-938-8721 with scholarship to get the free scholarship workbook. Type in book at when you text us at 415-938-8721 to get a free assessment, or type in weekend to learn more about CAI. But again, you type this into your phone, texting us at 415-938-8721. Okay. Let's see here. How many students receive? Okay, so I answered that one. What year income tax do we use for the incoming FAFSA? Oh, okay. If you're going to be doing FAFSA, what happens is it's always 2 years back. Okay, so if you're going to be doing this, if they're going to be going in this year, 2024, then what happens here is that you want to do the 2024, 2025, but what you're going to be doing is that they're going to be using and asking for your tax returns 2 years back. Okay, 2 years back. All right, let's see if there's any. Again, if you are interested in learning about our free assessment, 15-minute assessment, you can type into your phone your text us book at 415-938-8721, or if you're interested in the free scholarship workbook, type in scholarship 415-938-8721, text us that, or text us the word weekend. Okay, text us the word weekend. Let's see here. Is there any other questions? Any other questions that are out there? Any other questions? Let's see here. I don't think so. Looks like. So can you do me a favor? I just want to see, was this, here we go. Hold on. Can you elaborate on the middle class scholarship? Do UCLA and UC Berkeley have a higher income cap due to expensive housing? Unfortunately, they don't. And the middle class scholarship, again, it does. It's only for it's really meant for, and let me kind of go here to UC Berkeley. So again, UC Berkeley, the middle class scholarship is for that can cover up to 40% of tuition fees for but it really is meant for income criteria. Okay. And normally the income criteria are those that I think it's less than 80,000. And which is the cap. And unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, the middle class, even the middle class scholarship, UCLA and Berkeley, it doesn't matter about the cap. Okay, for expensive housing. Okay, my daughter is a senior. Is it too? My daughter is a senior. Is it too late? I don't know what means it's too late. My kid is going to graduate in 2020. When should we apply for scholarships? Okay, applying for scholarships, apply now. Okay, there are still scholarships that are out there, a bunch of them. Again, remember I mentioned the prime time is October to March. So a lot of times it's what I normally recommend is that students, they're doing their application right when they're finished with their application, start searching for scholarships. But you can start looking for now because this is going to be coming up in prime time in October. Okay, and with respect to deadlines, you can keep applying for scholarships the entire year. So it doesn't mean that you are going to just stop between October and March. No, because scholarships have different deadlines. And so that's the reason why in your scholarship database, in your, let's say your spreadsheet, you're going to list out the dates and you're going to keep track of those dates all the time to make sure that you make those the deadlines. Okay, so you want to keep on applying throughout the year. Okay, throughout the year. Okay, so let's see here. You're not going to get any feedback after the text. We will actually text you. My team will text you tomorrow. So again, type in, please, either scholarship, book, or weekend at 415-938-8721. Okay. Will there be a replay? I was late to arrive to this. Yes, we do have replays. Too late for any of these for next year. There's never too late to apply for scholarships. There isn't, okay? What you want to do is, especially with respect to the universities will probably either automatically put your students in, or what they'll do as well is they will go ahead and ask you questions on the application, okay? Let's take a look at here. If my son gets scholarship, can it be deferred if he ends up at community college? Yes, it can be deferred. It actually, and if the community college actually has expenses, you could use that for, but yes, you can always defer. You just have to talk to the organization for that. Please share tips on essays for scholarships. Okay, essays for scholarships are interesting because what happens here, it's the same thing. You want to tell them about you, okay? Yes, there's a lot of ability where you want you list out, and a lot of times that's the reason why I always like to include a activity resume so it doesn't take away from the essay itself. And then you talk about yourself. It's just like applying for or filling out the college applications. You want to talk about yourself and who you are. Okay. Can juniors also start applying for scholarships, or do we wait till? No, juniors, again, it's as young as 4th grade, you can apply for scholarships. Don't they need a PSAT score? No, they don't need. Oh, okay, sorry. For PSAT scores, if you're talking about the National Merit Scholar, that's different. Now, National Merit Scholar, yes, is a very prestigious scholarship program, in which you normally it's junior year. You take the PSAT. You need at least a 1490 or higher to go ahead and be eligible to go through the process. Okay, 1520 is the highest for PSATs. And then what happens is you'll go through a very rigorous application process, okay, with National Merit Scholar. If your student is really good at the SAT and PSAT, I highly suggest that they take the PSAT and that they go for, because it's a very prestigious scholarship program that can get you not only a lot of scholarships, but also put you on a list of a lot of schools that will want to have you attend because of possibly, if you become a commended or an actual runner-up or actual merit scholar, it's huge because that normally helps you in admissions. Okay. Let's see. ACTs, score scholarships available. Which one's available? There are. What happens is that when you put your name in for ACT and SAT, a lot of times that will go into, again, a list, and that will have people, ping you about scholarships. But yes, ACT, I don't know specifically if ACT themselves provide scholarships, but I do know that the College Board does. And that's one of the sites that I mentioned, is the Big College Board website that you should go. What if a student is a freshman in college with applying for scholarship next year? If they're a freshman in college, you still should be applying right now. Okay. These scholarships, there's actually a lot of scholarships that are, I will tell you, it's very, very important. I've seen scholarships that where they say is that it's specifically for freshmen all the way to senior, but you have to apply as a freshman or going in as a freshman. So it's important. Again, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to continually apply for scholarships all the way through freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in college, and even in graduate school if they go for it, because there are scholarships all over the place. Is any scholarships for medical school programs? Yes, there are. There are medical schools, scholarship medical school programs. I will tell you one of them that my niece and some others have taken advantage of is the VA hospital scholarship, okay? The VA, you have to be as part of an approved program, but it's a full ride scholarship. Of course, you have to work for them, but it's full ride. Any scholarships associated with girls, boys, state competitions up in Sacramento? Ooh, that one I don't know if it's very specific. Girls and boys state competitions, but I guarantee you if you go and search, that probably is. And the reason why is because, again, there are millions of dollars of scholarships that are out there. You just have to search locally for them, okay? I want to thank you guys. Again, we ran out of time here. So thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ping us on Facebook at either UC Admission Secrets or College Admission Secrets. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time here. You guys have been amazing. We hit past the 250 mark. So hopefully you join us as part of our program. Remember, last shout out is make sure is that if you want the scholarship workbook, or if you want to book an free assessment call, or if you want to learn more about our college application intensive, type in book, type in weekend or scholarships, type it in and chat with us. I'm sorry, text us at 415-938-8721. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and the rest of your week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.